Okay, we are live in Arlington, Vermont, and that's on mute, so there's no fun echo. Let's pop out the chat, put it on to live chat, because rumor has it you guys are all live. And if there's any gals that are in here, so I guess we'll say hi to everyone that was very patiently waiting. We have Anthony Dodds, the model train outsider, the Schuylkill Valley River Valley, also name it, who is also known as John J2. We got Dwight from Curly Express. Let's see who else wanted in. John Benackley. And hopefully, Wigwag is, he was here when I first actually clicked on the thing saying that, hey, I'm getting ready to have a YouTube live stream. So he's been there to the point where he was there right at the beginning, ready for it, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute, this is scheduled for later on. So he is, hopefully will be bouncing back. Okay. So I think I got everybody. Well, thank you everyone for coming to the actual Crew Cab Wednesday. Apparently last week I was a little bit enthusiastic. So yeah, it's basically I got my weeks mixed up, and plus since I just hit 100 people, hit 100 subscribers, I was, I guess, a little enthusiastic in trying to get things done and all that. But tonight is a continuation of what I've been doing, which is on the module. I wasn't able to find my extra plaster cloth, so I had to open up the new package. And how much you want to bet I'll find it? I'll find the old plaster now that I got the new one open. Speaking of opening, I am planning on later doing an unboxing. Hello, Mom and Sons Rail fans. Thank you for coming in. And Boilermaker Rick, thank you for both for coming. I am in the I do have an unboxing for it later on. One of the things of Happy Valley Hobbies was so I can, not necessarily do model trains all the time, but sometimes doing some hobbies that are model train adjacent, like electronics, painting, and for what I got for the unboxing tonight is the for the milling machine lathe, which I bought a long time ago, and I think I did something about it, explanations and all that. But then it was, it's sort of unfortunate been collecting dust on my right side here. So I'm going to so I bought some other stuff for it. And so that's what the extra unboxing is, some accessories that I bought for it to make it a little bit more versatile. Because basically when I bought it, I just basically bought the absolute basics and all that, and unfortunately because of that, wasn't really not really able to do much with it. So I do have some stuff. Some I didn't really need, but the thing is that what was happening during the NMRA X of the Northeast region, they were having a 20% off sale. So I'm like going like, ooh, 20% off. and started on a buying spree. Two of the things that there were a couple of things that I was not able to get. Basically, one thing I wasn't able to get was what's called a 4-jaw chuck. I do have what's called a 3-jaw chuck, which came with the machine basically. But the thing is that it's a three-jaw scroll chuck, so all 3 jaws go in and out at the same time, which is nice and easy to change out stuff, but it does have the issue of once you take something out of the chuck, you can't put it back in exactly concentric like it was before. And so what the reason for the 4-jaw chuck one, which has independent jaws, is that you can actually dial it in and recenter it exactly the way it is. So you can take a part out and then put it back in, readjust it and all that, and then it'll be like where you left off. But it was out of stock at the time, along with I think there was a couple of things that were out of stock. So the thing is that I turned around and said yes, I still want it, and then hit enter, and everything that was in stock is theoretically in the box I got. And my assumption is that eventually, when stuff does get back in stock, the rest will follow. And the thing is, I do have it set up going. When I was unemployed, it was okay to have it come to my place because, well, I'm here. It's one of those. Hello, Tom Grassi. I think he's a new person here. And Ken Amos Jr. Bino51 has also came in. Thank you for coming in. But now I work at shipping and receiving at a place, so it just made more sense to, instead of having it on the front porch, possibly getting rained on, which is not very good for machinist tools. I just had it sent to work and all that because it's one of those things of one of the perks of where I work at is we can use it as a place for receiving and and sending stuff. All right, let's see. We got new people in here. Lehigh River Subdivision, thank you for coming in. I think I'm actually getting to a point where it's actually hard to keep up with chat. Because I know being on other people's live streams, especially with the more popular ones. I mean, the screen just goes completely nuts. So, well, in the meantime, let's go back to the diorama. That means settings, change the camera, and there's the workbench. Now, for those who haven't been here before, changing over the backdrop is connected to the camera. So when I move the backdrop, the camera bounces. All right. And now we're back to the other camera. And now to open a nice fresh thing of plaster cloth. And this one you can actually tear it apart. Okay. Now this particular bag actually has a sort of a Ziploc, so it can be resealed, which is a nice thing to have. So let's roll this out a little bit. Hey, this valley actually works out as a nice thing to unroll it. And let's take it completely out. But for those who don't know, this valley is made out of, not quite sure what they're called, but where I work at, they have these, they're pressed cardboard, and they hold, just like it is right now, holding this roll. It holds the fabric rolls that we get at work. So it winds up being a very effective way to transport fabric. There it is. It's slightly hiding on me. All right. A pair of shears to trim it off, which is probably going to be off screen. Because this is a very large diorama. All right, we'll put this to the side. All right, I'll bring this over here. Now, what I'm planning on is to put like a small little pond here, which would drain into here. Right now, doing the base of this now. And now, using water, which will flatten this out. All right. Ah, the plumber is here. Thank you for coming. Not quite up on everyone, but I believe, if I remember correctly, the plumber was not doing well lately. And hopefully he has recovered. Or at least on the mend. Well, I got a thumbs up, so I guess that's a good sign. I didn't get the green throwing up emoji. Well, hopefully your vision will be, well, not as good as Superman's, but at least back to normal. Possibly even slightly better. All right, so we got that. And one of the challenges I'm going to have is finding a way to sort of figure out how to take this this portion here, make it look like it's relatively normal. Okay, we got that. Okay, got that out of the way. Let's see another arm's length. Or maybe a smaller portion. All right, there's one. And one for the other side. Okay. One for one side, one for the other. Put this one aside so it doesn't get wet. And let's see. All right. All right. Looks like I cut off a little bit more. That makes it so I can go around it, wrap it around that way. So we'll go that way. All right. Hello there, Artie. Thank you for coming in. I believe I've gotten everybody. It's one of the problems, I guess, extending this diorama is that I've extended outside the frame of the camera. Hello there, race fan. Thank you for coming in. And in chiming in with the chat. Now, depending on how this pond comes out, we'll make it as either as a man-made pond or a natural pond. We shall soon find out. All right, we got that side done. Where's the fake one? Well, the fake one was last week, Heath. I got over enthusiastic and thought I was doing. I got my weeks mixed up, so it wound up being a. All right, we'll put that over there. So I wound up accidentally trying it last week, not realizing that I got my weeks mixed up. So, and plus also I was an hour early. I was corrected that it was at 8 o'clock, not 7. So I'm used to doing 7. When I was working with New Tracks Modeling, we were at 7 o'clock. So that's why I automatically thought it was 7. But things I believe have been corrected. All right. It looks like I might have to take a quick run to the sink to refill because I got plenty in there, but now it's getting to the point where I have to sort of like angle it. Let's see if we can take the hose and angle it so it's more straight up and down. So it gets into the corner. All right. Yeah, now it's, well, fortunately, I got too many bubbles in here to show you that it now is to the point where it's getting all the water. All right, now to a point. We're going to lift this up, switch it over to the back end. And we can turn around and cut some of the extra stuff off here. Ooh, that's cutting it close. It's possible, but it is cutting it close. Put that there. Get it in theoretically in the camera shot. Of course, I got to remember to watch which monitor because the YouTube one for YouTube is on a slight delay. So it looked like I was not on the screen, but I actually was. Well, hello there, Split Rock. Thank you for coming in. Well, hello there, Wigwag. Thank you, Wigwag, for jumping in as soon as I had everything set up to sort of test the that the everything was set up, ready to go. Now, I think, if I remember correctly, Race Fan was also on the, seemed to be also there early. I think I saw I saw like one line of saying hello and all that, and then when I rebooted the computer, it disappeared. So I'm going to assume you were there. All right, get this all wet. And what I might wind up doing is putting some rocks, rocks here to make it look, make it look like there's a reason why this is almost sticking out with this. Same on this side. Make it theoretically more believable. One good thing about doing dioramas is you can practice on them and not worry about damaging your own layout. Or if you want to do something to your layout, you can experiment on a diorama. The experiment that I'm doing on this is trying to correct some of the mistakes that I made with the original, but also see if I can blend it in, blend stuff in. So that should be sort of kind of on the interesting side that way. Hello, Trackside Mike. Thank you for coming in. So now it's basically taking small strips and making it so they flow together a little bit easier. Don't need massive amounts of strips. About 1 inch thick, I guess, would work at this point. First we'll actually, that one we can probably cut slightly in half. From both sides, there, there. Hello, Derek Alexander. Thank you for popping in. One thing I got to be careful of is making sure that my hands do not stay wet while picking up on the plaster, because, well, it causes the plaster to prematurely activate. It's not like some other stuff where you can turn around and re-wet stuff. Basically, once plaster cloth is activated, it doesn't go back. It just hardens and it never does not loosen back up again. All right, I'm gonna do that there. One thing I probably should have, way too late now, but I do have an apron, which I probably should have worn to keep all the plaster dust off of my pants and shirt. That seems to be a little bit too late now. Yeah, with this straight edge, I might turn around and make this as this pond here, make it into an actual man-made pond. This over here, it's a little bit too flat to make a pond out of it. So I'm thinking trees and all that fun stuff. It is, since I'm made the bridge, it's probably a smart idea to use the bridge as keep it as a centerpiece. All right, let's put that over there. That'll be hidden under stuff. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to blend this in, but it should be interesting. Well, one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of layouts that when they add water features, sometimes they wind up forgetting important details, which I think if I was younger, I would probably forget them also. But important things like drainage, gravity, water goes downhill, and sometimes people, don't realize it. So, all right. One thing I need to do. So I got a new quote unquote road bed, which looks like it's going to work. I might have to later on take some sandpaper or something to lower this down a bit. But other than that, because I need to lower this down because I think some of the lettering, which you can barely see here, is on this. So it's a little bit high. But not too annoyingly so. There are also some gaps, but then again, it's one of those things of this is not as straight as I thought it was. It's slightly warped. So, but sort of like the prototype, it's one of those things of get it close and then fit it into what it'll fit into. So, all right. Well, now I think it's getting close to washing it, washing stuff dry. So I guess I can go on to the unboxing. All right. So put that over here out of the camera range. And theoretically on stable surface. It's not as stable as I thought it would be. All right. There, it's now stable. And you can still barely see it. But onto the mystery box. Now, as I said earlier, that one of the reasons why I called the channel Happy Valley Hobbies is because eventually I want to do other hobbies that are sort of hobby adjacent to model railroading. And this, as you see by Micromart, will be one of the ones I'm aiming for. Now, Micromart does have model train stuff, which I did at least buy one thing, actually two, that are model railroad related. But, the packing list. This is what's in this. Let's see. All right. Now, I didn't get everything on this. Of course, the things I really wanted, of course, are not on here. Hello, Derail Daryl, another member of the Wednesday Cab crew. All right. Now this is a 2-flute double end mill set. Basically, the other hobby that I want to see about start having shown on this channel is machining. Since I am planning on doing 6-foot broad gauge, which there are no commercial products for, I'm going to actually have to make stuff myself. And this is the carriage stop. This takes the carriage on the lathe and stops it within a nice distance and all that, so it doesn't so it makes things repeatable, or get it so you don't break things. Now this, I'm not sure if anyone recognizes what these are, but these are rollers for locomotives, so you can test them on the track. Go and set it up for. You can turn around and test them on the track, and they will. Of course, I just had a locomotive in my hand, but you can turn around and run them without actually having them roll down the track. Thing is, I did get the 2 sets. One set I'm going to keep original. The other set, as soon as I find out what insulating material they used, is to re-gauge it so it's to the broader gauge. It's one of those things of trying to figure out what should come first, the re-gauged locomotive or the re-gauged test wheels. Here's one set. For some reason, I thought these were larger, but there is the other set. Very small, very nice to have if you like doing maintenance on your locomotives. Another mystery box. All right, this is the. Ooh, this is a pretty box that goes with it. Pretty piece of wood. All right, let me slowly pick this out. But these are also more mills. Now, for the eagle-sided people, they're probably thinking it's like, oh, they're just drills. They are not drills. For one, they're double-ended, which drills are usually not. There's also a very large dip in there where you can actually turn around and put a set screw on there. And you also notice they're flat, whereas a drill usually has a point to it. These are designed so you can turn around and mill slots in the piece of wood. So yeah, it's a cute little wooden thing they got for it. All right, put the box for that aside. And let's try to keep stuff relatively together. Now, this, more 4-foot end mill sets. All right. Now this particular one has what they call a 2-flute. So there's only 2 flutes on it, whereas which is what your normal drill would have. The other ones here, these have 4 flutes, so I'm not quite sure if you can see through the plastic, but that actually has 4 flutes on it instead of the 2 that the other have. Now this is a tool rest. Now, from my understanding, this is originally designed for, if you want to do wood. There's the, it's not the tool rest, spur driver. This is the spur driver. And the spur driver is designed to go into the taper over the headstock. Now, this actually shows the 4-flute a lot better because this has 4 flutes. This 2 flutes only has that. And let's see, who else has wandered in? Oh, hello, Grandpa Wet Rails. Thank you for wandering in DS Media Production. I have a feeling I missed you. But this goes into the headstock, and you would put your piece of wood on there. And then this tool post, which is in multiple pieces. All right. All right. Yeah, this would go into your tool post. Clamp this into your tool post. And then this would fit onto this. You would tighten this screw, and then you would take your hand tools and be able to put whatever details and curvatures and fancy stuff that you want to do on that through this. I mean, it shows that it shows it that they have for wood, but it could also be used on brass and aluminum and other soft metals. So we got that. And then we got this set, which is a chucking reamer set. Let's see if we can actually bring this out. Ooh, it actually has its own little packaging. Basically, what a reamer does, this is actually sealed. Okay. What a reamer does is it makes the hole that a drill would make or mill and make it very precise. The way these are set up is they usually have a lot of flutes. This looks like it has 6 flutes, but you also notice they're not twisted. They're regular. They're straight up and down, and that's so they can make a very precise hole. And when you're doing machining, there are times that you want a very precise hole. Now, hopefully, the container that they had this in is not with the hole in it. Hopefully, it's not what winds up being part of how well the reamers are. Hopefully, they're a lot better than the packaging. Okay, so we're gonna put that in garbage. Now it looks like we got most of the stuff here wound up being very nicely done. But this is a micro tap and die set. All right, I'll do that. And we'll do that. Now, for people who don't know what a tap and die set is, a tap and die set makes threads, for like screws or bolt. Mostly for bolts, not necessarily screws. But I got these are your taps. These put threads inside a hole, and these are dies, and they put the threads on the outside of your rod. Sort of like how this screw has the threads on the outside. They were either made by dies, or there is the possibility that one thing I don't know how to do yet is what's called single point threading, where you're actually taking a tool and you're making you're turning around and making the thread. Taps and dies are a lot quicker and a little bit more precise. Okay, now this one. And of course, the biggest sticker on it is the warning for California. Ooh, this is a what's called a knurler. Now, this was one of those things of I didn't need to get this, but since they were having a 20% off sale, I decided to get one of these. Now, what this does, it does what's called knurling, and basically what these two rollers pinch between whatever's spinning around that and makes what's on this wheel. It has the little diamond pattern that you can actually grip on. Makes it a little easier to grip on, and so it's very interesting. It's very nice that they actually have an example of knurling on a knurler. So that's a something to. It's one of those things that it makes things a little bit more fancier, especially your knobs and stuff like that. Another example of knurling, which I happen to have a tool, is what I was been using a couple of times to cut down on stuff. But as you can see, this is another type of knurling. They usually have this style, which is diamond style, but they also do have straight style also, which I don't think I have that. I don't think I have a version of that around here. And this looks like it might be the last box. All right. Now, earlier I showed the 3-chuck jaw for the lathe. And that basically is like how to, basically how to put the material in it to make it work. But originally, they did have, it was a layover of wood turning, and that's what's called a faceplate. And basically the way this works is that instead of using the jaws to clamp down on it, say if you have a really weird part that you need to try to figure out how to machine, or something that's offset, or something that's definitely not your normal setup, that's when you would use the faceplate. You would have, that's one thing I forgot. Oh, wait a second. They're normal 6mm screws, so it shouldn't be that hard. But basically, you would have small clamps that would clamp down whatever you're putting on there. I'm not quite sure where they came up with the idea for faceplate, but the thing, this mounts on the headstock, so maybe that's where it came from. Not quite sure, but I gotta remember to buy some 6mm set screws, because it didn't come with it. It actually says there, it does not come with it, but it uses the same. It uses the same bolts that the 3-jawed chuck has. So I could take those off and put them on this. But go to the local hardware store and turn around and buy a 6mm screws. That's all you need, or bolts, I should say. Last but not least, I bought this mini lathe for the home machinist, and it shows an operation of tapping a hole. Now, people who have drills and all that would assume that this is spinning. That is not correct. That's actually being in a stationary position, and this is spinning. That's the main difference between lathes, milling machines, and drill presses. Where drill presses and milling machines, you're holding down the part and the tool is spinning. Whereas in the lathe, it's the opposite way around. So the material is spinning, and the tool, which here you got the tap drill, and here's a normal cutting tool, they're stationary. So that's the main things on that. So that's my homework for today. And then, of course, you got your normal scan this for a free catalog. But since they already got my name, I've been getting catalogs anyway. So, and there's a picture of a milling machine. As you can see, it looks like a drill press that has like an XY coordinate table on it. But the thing is that there's a little bit more with a drill press. They are designed differently than a milling machine is designed differently than a drill press, because a drill press, the power is only going down. Whereas in a milling machine, a lot of the forces are sideways. So that's why they are built differently. Well, I guess I timed that pretty good, because it looks like it is now 9 o'clock. So let me change positions a little bit. Let's see, don't want to get the book dirty. There we go. All right, now to switch over again. Now, be careful, the camera's going to bounce a bit. All right. I would have to say you're half right, Split Rock. I know lathes are, can make milling machines. Basically the lathe is considered the mother of machines, because you can use a lathe to make everything. A milling machine, I think you can make a lathe with a milling machine. Not quite sure how it would be done, but I think a milling machine actually, yeah, I would have to say you could turn around and use a milling machine to make a lathe. One of the things with what milling machines are good at is making a groove, a long groove, and the ways on a lathe are very, very long. So I would think that you can make a lathe out of a milling machine. The thing is, the modern vertical milling machine is the oldest tool, from my understanding, because they also have wood lathes, because that's where it originally came from. But the vertical milling machine is actually a relatively new innovation. Before the vertical milling machine, they had the horizontal milling machine. And before the horizontal milling machine, they had planers and shapers, which were more, they weren't rotary. They were more, like how you use a wood plane. Not quite sure the reason why they used, why they call a planer and a shaper differently, because a wood planer, a wood planer is more like a metal shaper, where you got oh, wait a second, I am incorrect. A wood planer, that's probably where they came up with it. because you're moving the material against the cutting surface on both of them. All right. That is true. Wigwag spend 2,500, 250,000 on CNC, which I do not have. But it's one of the things of use the milling machine for deep Parkinson's. Yeah. Milling machine is basically a drill press stepped up to 100 and be able to do more other things. Drum brakes and guillotine brake. Yeah. So, well, it is now 9 o'clock, so my hour is up. And so thanks everyone for showing up and supporting Cab Crew Wednesdays. I'm not sure when the next time I'll be up, but if somebody is interested in doing a live stream and trying to test the waters to see how well they do and all that, I believe. Well, my contact was Derailed Daryl. I coordinated with him. So I would have to say coordinate with him if you want to, try doing a live stream. We'll do our best. I thank you, Grandpa Rails. All right, Ken. So if you are interested in doing a live stream, I mean, I do live streams every Sunday at 6:45 to 7:45, sort of like before. Yes, nice visit you, Anthony. I just got to remember that I'm so used to stopping a stream and then going to yours and all that. Then it's like going like, oh, wait a minute. I keep on forgetting on Fridays. But I thank you, Daryl. I would have to say if you want to throw up your channel, if anyone who's has a wrench and wants to put up their YouTube channel, go ahead. And I said, if somebody is interested in trying out live streaming, I would say contact Derailed Daryl. And the next time there's a fifth Wednesday, you could be the guest host and all that. But if not, I guess you'll see me there again. So, all right. Oh, hello, Mystic Railroad. I did not see you sneak in. I was unfortunately a little bit too focused on the unboxing, but already signed. Okay. So, all right. On this note, thanks everyone for coming. And I think the world needs more love. So find your passion, add some silliness to it, and spread it around. Good night, everyone.